So I'll tell you what I'm playing. I'm playing Knight's Order. So it's a kind of mid-range deck. You want to take board control very early, and then just hang on, and you want to pump out big fat knights every turn, and then hopefully it has a lot of burst damage. So once you have the board and you have some knights out, you can win pretty quickly after that.
Okay, and interesting. And like in one of the games that we saw that basically it was literally like you had to wait till 12 resources to do anything. Is it always like that? We had to wait till you get a lot of resources?
Well, that deck I was playing was a super late game order deck, so the idea was you would let them have the board, and then you would just keep ramping up in resources, and then once you had enough resources, you can come back with the RBs and the mangonels.
Nice, okay. Alright, so jump into this game. We are on the first draw. I think I see your hand, where you draw a Winged Soldier, you draw a Royal Spearsman, you draw an Advantageous Outlook, and you also draw a Dunkel Infantryman. So relative to order decks, because I play Growth, so I'm all about the cheap stuff, I'm sorry. Relative to order, I never understand it. Like, what is your goal? What is the goal of order in the first place?
Well, it depends what variant. So there's Tempo Order, which this is kind of close to, which just wants to put out a bunch of stuff, buff their attack, and kind of keep the board and take out the idols really quickly. It has armor units like Wing Shield, and it has spiky units, which is an order-specific thing. And it has a lot of kind of tricks, like countdown reduction, countdown increase, damage increase, like a bunch of spells like that. And it wants to try and take out the idols quickly. And then there's what you saw me playing earlier, which was the late game order, which just wants to stall the game out and just outramp the opponent and then come back and win.
Oh, nice. Okay. Alright, so we'll go ahead and let the first turns play. We see that you stuck with your deck. You didn't do anything special. And you're just going to sacrifice for stuff. GLHF, you know, courteously. Very courteous. And Vollgiir is running a Decay Growth deck.
Yeah, so I can tell you a bit about that. That's like a super control deck. It's called a Samata control usually. So it wants to play its Decay and Growth removal spells and just kill everything you put out until about turn 20 or so, when it has like 1 billion resources, and then it wins with like really late game spells. So I think I am actually favored in this matchup because my deck's a lot faster, and it can put stuff out faster than he can kill it, pretty much, which is what it comes down to.
And this is always a question I wanted to ask, is like when it comes to managing multiple resources, because I mean, back when I first started playing Scrolls, which is not relevant anymore, but used to be able to do one or the other resource, and you can, you know, if you have enough of both, you can do both. But Wild wasn't a thing. So with the new advent of Wild, not with the new advent of Wild, but how doable is this deck? Is the question I'm trying to get at.
It definitely buffed it. I mean, this kind of deck did exist before Wild, but then obviously when Wild came in, it was super strong. There was a time when they made it so you could sack for 2 Wilds for every 1 resource you have.
Wow.
And then, yeah, this deck was outright the best one. It was all anyone ever played. It was the most toxic meta we've had in a while, so they changed that back pretty quickly.
Yeah. This sounds like something you want to change. And we'll go ahead and let Vollgiir take his turn. He did play Eye of the Eagle, just draw 1 Kinfolk Kinfolk Veteran, just a vet. I don't really know if he can do too much with that. But taking a look at his hand, though, we see Soul Stealers in his hand. We also have a Nogness. So yeah, it looks like he just kind of wants to stall and just knock in the face with spells. So this will be fun to watch. No spoilers. No spoilers. Alright, so going back to your hand, you're going to go ahead and play your first card, which is a Dunkel Infantryman. When it comes to the infantry people, and I don't really want to actually question about every single card, but when it comes to infantry people, like, your starting goal is to try to get them in the back, or do you want to put them in the front? Because I never really know where to put them ever.
The Infantryman, I tend to like him in the front early on, just because he doesn't have, like, he's a good 3 health blocker for 2, and he doesn't have that much attack, so I'd rather him kill my Infantryman than kill, say, my Skirmisher.
Correct.
But
which is...
obviously, if I have something like a Spearman or a Wing Shield that's a defense, you know, I'm going to put that in front.
Nice, okay. And going back to Vollgiir, he's going to go ahead and play his next turn. He has nothing but a whole bunch of Frost Gales. He's going to go ahead and drop out a Nog's Nest, though. Nog's Nest, one of the cooler cards. Nogs are extremely cute. I'm sorry, I hate to admit it, but they're super cute. They look amazing, and they hit really hard. I don't know why. It's, like, really weird.
Yeah, Nog's Nest, it's good because you get 2, but again, it's kind of slow, so I'm probably going to be able to kill that before he even gets the Nogs.
And speaking of skirmishers, you did mention a skirmisher before. You have a royal skirmisher in the back lines, hanging out behind the Dunkel infantryman. It looks like you're starting to move down towards the Nog's Nest, just so you can punch in the face a few times. Don't want to let those go through. And in your hand, you also have a royal spearman, and also on top of that, you have a squire. You said you're running a tempo knight deck. Tempo knight or tempo soldier. I don't know.
It's a knight deck, so the squire's just in there because it makes all the things that aren't knights count as knights, and they get counted down by the knight sergeant, and various spells that buff the attack of knights also work on them. So that's good if you have a skirmisher knight.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, never thought about that. All right. So continuing with everything else, you're gonna have to explain more of that later. But for now, we're gonna watch a few more turns go through. Just a few more spells getting played by Vollgiir. I'm really like fearful whenever I see a deck that doesn't have like units out. I'm always like, I need to put things on the board. Which is why I love playing growth and cheap stuff. Of course, there's a high potential. Like I saw the game that you played, where you had an RB out after you had 12 resources and just wrecked everything. Which I mean, of course, it's pretty strong, but I wouldn't have the patience for that, I guess.
Yeah, so right now I'm feeling pretty, I just want to get the idols dead as soon as I can, because I know if it goes into the late game, he's definitely going to win over me.
Correct. And right now we're stuck on round 5. We're just going to stop there for a few moments. You did drop your Dunkel infantryman just to hit the Nog's Nest. The Nog's Nest is going to pop before you can actually kill it, but your skirmisher should be able to actually kill one of the Nogs. At least one of the Nogs. And you also got a royal spearman out. So at this point in the game, I don't know what you have in your hand, but your mentality right now is just to try to like get his stuff off the board and kill his idols, or is it more so to just do as much idol damage as possible?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to take out his stuff before his idols at this point, because, there comes a point in every game where you want to just go for the idols instead of the stuff, but I think that's a long way off for now. I don't have enough damage on the board to be able to do that.
Okay. And all things considered, he does have the thing that I hate. He has a soul steal. I hate that card. Because I play growth normally, and because I love growth, and I love having cheap units, that means I love Kinfolk Braves. And Kinfolk Braves are like so hard to keep alive.
Yeah, versus Decay at least, they probably have the most things to kill them.
God, it's so horrible. Just like soul steal. No! Anyway. Continuing on with the game though, Nog's Nest is going to pop here in a few seconds, and also it's going to be your turn here soon. So, actually no, it's your turn. Nog's Nest didn't pop yet.
Yeah, I should be able to kill that.
Yeah, you will be able to. Skirmisher's going to be able to punch through that. And you're going to play a Wings Warder. So, Wings Warder versus this specific deck, how well does that work? Because he has a lot of abilities that hit AoE.
No, it's absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the key scrolls against this deck, because you see here, I wasn't afraid of Soul Steal, and then he did the Frost Scale, so now everything's at 2.
Yep, hold on. I'm behind a little bit. Sorry, I stopped on 5 again. Yeah, he did Soul Steal on your Dunkel infantryman, and that's pretty much it. So
I played the Wings Warder there to stop him from casting that Soul Steal on my Skirmisher or my Spearman, who I care about a lot more.
See, this is why I can't do games like this. I do not think that far ahead. Alright, that's a really good ability. Really good idea. Really well played. Alright, so we're in round 6 right now. I'm going to let round 6 play through to the start of round 7. We got a few cards coming through your hand. As we're waiting for us to go through, just try to talk me through what you might have been thinking at this point.
I think I really wasn't happy with my hand. I didn't have any high-cost units or knights or anything to play, so that's why you see me sack for scrolls. I mean, I'd much rather be on 5 resources than on 3 right now, but I just didn't have anything to play.
And in the event of resource management, because I've had many times where I tried to play energy deck, and I cannot do energy. Energy is like the complete opposite of growth. I'm sorry. I can't, because I want to play growth like cheap units. I keep saying this because I have a bias. I know the strategy is strong in the other ones, but I can't do order, because if you try to get those units where you need to have resources, I just fail horribly. But anyway, all that goes a long way to say, when is it more important to go for resources versus going for units? Do you have to wait till you have crappy hand, or do you just...
Most decks, you're going to want to get to a certain point where your deck functions the best, and then sack for resource or sack for cards pretty much every time. Like maybe if you have a play, say, that costs 7 and you have 6 resources, maybe stack up them, but generally you're going to want to go for cards once you reach a certain point. There's some exceptions, obviously, where, say, I have a late game growth build where you draw so much, you're going to want to sack for resources every turn. But that's only because you have enough draw cards to be able to support that. But with anything, like with what Vollgiir's playing or what I'm playing here, you're going to want to reach a certain point and then keep sacking for scrolls.
Yeah, I mean, and right now he seems at a relatively healthy spot. I mean, he has 2 growth, 2 decay, and he also has 2 wild. So his resources are flexible. They're not expansive by any means, but he has 6 total versus your 3. But your units are still cheaper, so I would be afraid at this point because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just quit and just like summon all the things and die and then rage quit. But we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna go ahead and jump to. We're gonna let it go to like round 9 or so, and then we'll stop again. So we see a few cards coming through. You got an Aging Knight on the field, which I love Aging Knight. I just hate the fact that he ages so much. He's a really cool card. You also have a Field. Fields of Strife is thrown on the board, or not thrown on the board, is in your hand. And a Royalist, or Reloyer.
Yeah, the Reloris.
Reloris, that's how you pronounce that.
I have no idea. That's how I pronounce it.
Right, but you have him out on the board. We got some Mangy Raskin thrown on the board. So I love that card because it just gives you a bunch of units. Like I said, I like cheap things, so I think it's really cool to see that. Of course, I'm not thinking strategically, I'm just thinking of what looks the coolest.
Yeah, so I'm not really too concerned about those rats. You see here, I just want to kill one and then hit the idol with my other guy. I'm on about round 8. So...
Yep, and I see you use the... What was that spell? Hold on, I got paused for a second. You just dropped yourself a Fields of Strife. Yeah, so Fields of Strife, what does that do?
So that's going to buff all my knights by the number of friendly units on that row. So that's usually going to be +2 for all your knights, which is really strong. You see the Squire as well, like what I was saying earlier, it turns everything into knights behind it.
Oh, right. So your crap, where's your soldier? Sorry, your soldier who's attacking right now, which I can't click on. Your soldier is now a knight. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. So that he's going to have more attack to be able to hit the idol. You can see I'm getting hasty to get the idols down with.
Yep. You got the middle idol about to take a lot of damage. And also, we'll stop officially at round 9, but I'm letting it play. I'm letting it play through as we're talking along. When is it? Not when is it? Yeah. There's a question. When do you determine which idol to go for? Jeez, that was hard to get out.
Well, for me, generally, you always want to take out the middle idol first if you can. Because once the middle idol's gone, they kind of have to split between both sides. So if they go and defend the bottom side, you can just move up to the top, and then you have 2 idols there you can take out. Versus if you take out one of the side ones, they can still just kind of defend one side of the board and not care about the other side as much, because they can't win if they let you attack that.
Correct. And I've been in a lot of situations where I try to take the top and the bottom, like try to take both of those first, and they just kind of just plop
and they just
stuff.
Total it up in the middle, yeah.
Just stuff in the middle. Oh, that was a horrible game. I felt like I was doing so well. I missed it by 1 turn.
That's a mistake I see a lot of players, like newer players, make actually, is not going for the middle idol when they have the chance.
All right. So, about what round count do you want to try to stop at next? I'll let you lead the way, since you know kind of what might be happening.
I don't know. I'm just letting it play through round 9 right now.
All right. So we're gonna let it play through round 9. Stop at around 10.
Sure.
10 to your next turn. How about that?
Sure.
Alright, so we're going to let it go through, just shifting a few units. Positioning is always a thing that I have a lot of trouble with. And we have a Knight Sergeant getting thrown on top of the board. That sounds really cool. I don't know what it does yet, though. Anyway, Royal Skirmisher kills himself from a nice little Mangy Rat, and we're going to see what Vollgiir responds with. He has no units on the board. You did say he wants to control a lot, and he's going to go ahead and drop himself a Return to Nature, which actually kills 2 of your units, I think.
Yeah, I killed quite a few. I was not too happy about that.
And the Kinfolk Vet's going to come through. Round 10, we're back on your turn, so we're going to go ahead and stop for a second. You have 2 Knight Scholars. You also have yourself a Royal Vanguard and a Focus. What the heck are you going to do with this turn? And what just happened, and what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I dropped the Knight Sergeant, which I'm pretty happy about, because he's a big unit. Vollgiir can't kill it very easily. And his ability is when his countdown reaches 0, all my other knights count down. So that's really strong, considering I have a handful of knights.
Yeah, correct.
So I can just drop one of those this turn, and then it'll attack next turn.
Oh yeah, you also have a Knight Scholar. I remember the strategy. Knight Scholar into, Not the guys in the not the Knight Sergeant. It was another guy who had like a flag, the Royal Commander, I think.
And maybe like the general.
Yeah, the general. That guy, I hated that because some people would drop Royal Scholars next to a general, and the general will drop the cooldown, and it'll drop the cooldown. Everybody else is so annoying.
Yeah,
God,
so it's
so
pretty
annoying.
much just a mini version of that. I like the Knight Sergeant more though, because he has a lower countdown, so his ability goes off more often.
Oh yeah, good
That's
point.
more useful.
He's a 2. And you know, somebody was talking about this. I read like one of the Reddit posts about this, but they were talking about the counts, saying having a 2 count on everything should be a thing because they feel like some units like they have a 3 or 4s, or well, if they ever have a 4. God, please don't have 4. If they have higher counts, it just makes the game a lot slower. And they actually argue that they think everything should attack every turn. So, in your mind, does that sound like a good idea? In my mind, it doesn't, but...
I feel like that takes away a lot of the strategy of the game, honestly. Because some units, like Kinfolk Brave, say, he's very strong, but if he had... Like, if every unit attacked every turn, that would take away all of his power. So it lets you kind of balance between big, heavy units that attack every once in a while, versus, like, the quick ones that attack every turn, but with lower health. I mean, it would certainly make the game go a lot quicker. Like, whenever you play aggro growth, it always just feels so terrible when they win by, like, turn 6 and you haven't put anything on the board yet.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I think it would take away a lot of the charm of Scrolls for me, at least.
Okay. Fair enough. So it will break the game. Please don't do it, Valvo. I'm assuming Valve is gonna buy this game, but that's hopeful dreams.
Oh, I wish.
That'll be amazing because it's like you can expand Scrolls, you can get some more matchmaking stuff. Anyway, pipe dreams. Moving on to the rest of the game. Not talking about the depressing things. We'll see what you actually do with your turn. You're gonna go ahead and shift your Knight Sergeant down 1 turn and drop your Royal Commander, or drop your Royal Vanguard. Royal Vanguard is gonna go ahead and drop a cooldown or 2. Or, oh, not yet. Sorry, he has to wait for his cooldown to go 0.
Yeah, so that's going to happen next turn because the Knight Sergeant's going to attack.
Nice. And we got a Damning Curse. Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
I know this.
Damning Curse gets dropped. Looks like Vollgiir knows what's up. I don't like his hand at all. He has 2 Halls of almost blah blah, and he has a Languid.
Also, unless it's very slow, and he's not really at the resource count to be able to play that, so he'll probably be sacking those.
Correct. And what makes it a little bit harder for him probably is that he has all his resources in growth, and he has nothing growth.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things of playing a 2-color deck.
Alright,
So I'm kind of kicking myself right now that I didn't move the Wings Water down to protect the Knight Sergeant.
Oh, yeah. Because otherwise it would be able to protect. Alright, so I'm gonna let it play to round... Actually, we're at round 11. Round 11, your turn. You just buffed up some things. So things are about to happen. What is your strategy right now? Because I know you're trying to optimize your turn.
Kill the idols. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, there we go.
Alright, let's see. Hold on. You have yourself a lot of spells getting used, a lot of extra damage getting thrown on top of everybody. And it's going to be 2 idols down? No, just 1 idol down. Is that 1 idol down? Nope, I lied. That's 2 idols down. Oh, that's a game.
Yeah, so that's game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think I took some time that turn and just looked for lethal, and there it was, so I took it.
Nice.
You don't really see that so much in the replay.
Not necessarily. I mean, we kind of saw it in the long pause that we did for the whole thing, but it looks like that turned out well. It looks like you did a good job.
Yeah, as I said, it's kind of a hard matchup for him, because when I keep dropping the stuff with 4 or 5 health, all of his area of effect spells that deal like 1 or 2 damage, they're not going to kill my stuff very quickly. And then I can win the game pretty quickly.
Correct. And one of the misconceptions I think I have with this game is that I still don't see Order playing like really fast. I always see Order as like the units who have like 20 health that I can't kill with my wolves. It's just always frustrating. But going into that, knowing that you have an Order deck, which I'm assuming he didn't, but knowing you had an Order deck, do you think he would have chosen a different deck on his side, or?
Probably. If he was smart, he would have. I kind of know him though, and I saw him around. He only ever really plays this deck, so
Okay.
I had the advantage of picking a deck to beat his.
You counterpicked him? Come on, man.
Well, I mean, when there's only like 2 guys online.
Fair enough. Alright, so that's going to be it for this game. My name is CulBlu. I was joined here by Alpha Sentry, who actually helped out immensely in making this a relevant thing. Alpha Sentry, do you have anything you want to throw in there? Any additions?
Thanks for having me. I hope I helped the viewers learn some stuff.
Help me learn some stuff. Man, pretty soon I'll be able to do this by myself. But for now, I'm just going to ask you 1,000 questions. So,
Okay.
Alright. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, we'll see you guys whenever.